Okay, so I took my indirect stick off of my leg because I'd be tempted to get it even thinner. And I did take an extra strike somewhere, I think right there. But here we are, we're gonna really just kind of bring down these deltas and get it down to a streamlined view on the side. Meaning this is a straight line, or it looks like a straight line. So that is my goal at the moment. And I did abrade it. So that much we're, on that front we're good. Again, not trying to bevel it yet. We'll get there. Just kind of bringing that center line together. So you see how it's together here and jagged there. Gonna do the same thing on this side here. And I'm not necessarily zigzagging the edge. I'm just catching it where the deltas are above or below center line. Okay, now that we kind of met all of our edges, I'm gonna braid it one way. I'll show you what I mean. Now everybody does beveling different, so don't hurt me if I do it wrong or different than how you do. So how I do it is once I get my edges pretty much straight, I just bevel. Just go ahead and bevel. Up to about this point right here. I'm gonna do it on the other side. Now I know what y'all are thinking. You mean you don't pressure flake it? Well, I hadn't got there yet. So you get you kind of an artificial bevel just from a braiding. Kind of providing some convexity here. Okay. All right, and here we go. I usually do 2 rounds of this. So let me see here. Yeah, I want to bevel this side. So the first round, I pretty much go straight down. I'm not really driving in. Not really driving in at all, just kind of pressing down a little bit. There you have a nice bevel. You see? Have you a nice bevel there. It's not too bad. But I'll show you how to make it a little bit better. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, just kind of pressing down. Not really pressing in. All right, so you kind of have a decent little bevel on each side. For most people, that's okay, and then they'll just tidy up the area. But what I'm gonna do before I keep going is I'm gonna go ahead and make some notches. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not the best at notching. Just gonna be straight up honest with you. Not the best at notching, but lately I've been getting into punch notching, where you punch it with a horseshoe nail. I think I got this from Flint-Knapping tools as well. And you just punch. Makes it real easy, makes it real simple. Punch, 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 punch. Well, that one didn't go. Punch. And hold on. There we go. Punch. Punch. And punch. That'll be far enough for now. And I'll widen it here in just a little bit, but I'm gonna wait for that. And go ahead and meet it from the other side. Make sure I can get it from this side too. Just put it on the edge. And I'm using a solid copper bopper, but a small one. Seems to work all right. Need to make sure my holes are matching. Whoops. Took a little too much on that one, but that's okay. And eventually you get into a little rhythm like that and everything works pretty smooth for you. So there we got some notches started. And now that I have my notches started, what I'm gonna do is try to make sure all my profile is still good. What I mean by that is oftentimes you can kind of screw up the direction and the tip will be janted this way when your notches are this way. And so right now I'm trying to rectify all the little slight inaccuracies because it is a little slanted here. So my tip is going a little bit further this way. And so, because of that, I'm going to fix it real quick. Look there, boom. Now it's pretty much streamlined. Got a little bit more work to do. But now everything's pretty much all right. In line with one another. And you can go ahead and do the notches here. It's not an issue. Now, people do different notches for these Bolens. I may actually get my, let's see here. And where's my small bopper I just had? And a lot of times I actually like to go up a little bit on mine. I like my notches to go up. You see that sometimes in the deep south points down here in Alabama. A lot of times these notches are just right on up. Whoops. And sometimes the material is stubborn and it doesn't want to go up anymore. So I'm gonna call it right there. I'm not gonna try to overdo it or get myself in a position where it messes up on me. So here we go. Go in here with a little bit of pressure. And just make a little circle. And it looks as if to match my openings and everything, I need to work this down a little bit. Make sure everything looks the same on both sides. Not rocket science, but it does take a little bit of work. Okay. So now that we got our notches pretty much okay, can you see the notches there? I need to do this here. I'm gonna work on the bevel now. So pretty much the shape is all there. And I'm gonna go back to my bevel. Bevel down. What I like to do is I like to take this horseshoe nail flaker and just to make sure it's even on both sides, this line is completely even and where it needs to across the entire piece. Sometimes I'll do that number there. That number there, is that an old-timey phrase? I feel like that's something my mom and dad used to say. That over there, that number there. Anyways. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to do the same bevel, but I want this one to be my final one. So I don't want to get it super tight knit up there. I want this to be pretty much my final bevel here. So I'm gonna get another issue stick here, and I'm gonna press into my flakes. At the tip, I'm gonna press down. because I don't want to overshot nothing. But here, start pressing in. Get them pretty good spaced apart, pretty well spaced apart. And I might have to do an extra one down here. And now we got some pretty cool looking flaking on that side. And I'll tidy that up in a minute. Same thing over here. Pretty much go down at the tip. And then start shooting those flakes. Again, everybody does it differently. This is just how I do it. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what we're left with. Oh yeah, 17 minutes. Yeah, let me tidy this up and then we'll call it a day. So here's what I'm gonna do. This is my horseshoe nail flaker. What I'm gonna do is between every single little flake I just made, I'm just gonna tidy it up. Pretty simple. I'm kind of abrading, but I'm abrading with this pressure flaker. Sometimes I'll have to press down like that, but not all the time. I'm just kind of abrading in between the little spikes that were made from the beveling earlier. Okay, and that kind of really brings out those sharp edges on this side here. Do the same thing over here. Sometimes you do have to press down a little bit. Just abrade in between those little spikes. Now I'll show you what I'm doing. So here are the finished spikes. I don't know if you can see them real well. Up here, and then these are the ones I'm working at. And anytime there's a little divot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm just abrading in those little holes. And creating these little spikes. Now, did Indians have these real big spikes and real sharp edges? A lot of times they did. Sometimes on Bolen Bevels you'll see them that way. On other point styles too. And it's kind of like a steak knife, it's just real sharp. And you'll see it happen that way a lot of times. So anyways, now you get a real nice edge. And I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup on this point, and then I'll show you the finished product here in a minute. All right, so I'm back with the finished point. Definitely did a lot of work to get it to this stage. I wasn't pleased with the last set of pressure flaking that I did, or beveling that I did, so I did one more pass. And I also tidied up the notches and the base a little bit, and I still need to abrade the base. But anyways, got a nice Bolen bevel. Nothing too crazy. Out of Georgia Jasper. And anyways, I make different styles of these, different notches, big sandy base, all sorts of different styles, but it's just a quick one for today's video. So anyways, hope you like it. Hope you learned something. And that'll be it. Appreciate y'all.